This particular setting. I see what is taking place. I can't help but think about the goodness of the Lord. Can you just imagine what Jesus was dealing with, feeding multitudes, taking care of people, and now all of a sudden, he gets on the other side of this water, and now he comes into a cemetery. And when he gets there, he finds a man that is disturbed. He's troubled. He's depressed. He's loco. He's loony. Short of his faculties. Things just seem out of place. And when you think about this man, look at what he is doing. Nobody has any dealings with him because he waits till the sun goes down and start howling at the moon. Start making all kind of noise, ripping up his clothes. They put feathers and chains on him, but yet he rips them off. He breaks them in two. He never said that he went out and harmed anybody, but he was just doing himself injustice. My troubles don't have to always bother you. But it will look strange if you see me over there and nobody takes the time to say, let me pray for that brother. Let me help that sister. Maybe if I feed them, I can understand what they're going through. If I take a moment just to talk with them, it never mentions that nobody went by to see him. Nobody tried to coerce him to tell me what's going on. Nobody tried to get him any help. Y'all know anybody like that? Y'all know anybody that you look at and you say they crazy? They might not be crazy. They might just be acting out. You might be the crazy one because you refusing to do what the Lord told you. But y'all will catch this in a moment. You gotta see this, because if God had told us to go and to compel men, women, boys, and girls and to teach them whatsoever he had commanded them, if he told us to do all of that, and yet we see them out here acting crazy and we never do anything to help them, who the one that's out of place? They just acting like they supposed to act until they come into the knowledge of the truth. Till they have been helped or shown a better way, they just go act like. But see, I'm beginning to understand this. This is why you have so many different attitudes in church. People are just acting like the way they have been brought up. And you don't have the patience to deal with them, so you label them as troublemakers or crazy, or they got a funky disposition about themselves, and you haven't even taken time to even talk with them. Am I talking to anybody? You got to see this. You got to see this. And I want you to understand something that's in this. When we start looking at this text, and it builds up when Jesus makes the approach, Jesus didn't say, well, I'm going to see who I can pick on today. Y'all know how some holy folk act. They think because they can quote a scripture, they can say a few verses, they got they think they got it going on, and now they belittle everybody else. because you don't speak in tongues, because you don't show up at prayer service, because you don't tithe consistently, they begin to label them as some people who don't have no sense, no respect, no commitment, no anything toward the house of the Lord. But I began to beg the difference. I began to beg the difference because you will do better when you talk better. But now if you don't want to be taught, then you just go be who you are. Hello, somebody. It's a terrible thing to be labeled as somebody that's slow. Y'all will catch me in a moment. Look what happens here. There are a few things I want to share with you. I want to share with you is that first things first. First things first. You need to recognize who you are. That's the first thing. You need to no. Don't nobody need to tell you who you are. You know who you are. Hello. I don't have to go up and tell you, girl, you're a little loose. You got about 6 kids and different daddies. I don't need to tell you all of that. You know what you're doing. Hello. Brother, you got about 7, 8 kids and they all got different mamas. I don't have to tell you what you are. You know. Hello. I don't know why y'all getting so quiet now. If you always drinking and all that, I don't need to keep that. Well, you need to put the bottle down. You already know. The doctor done told you. You going to have cirrhosis of the liver. They done told you going to have lung cancer. You're smoking too much. They told you going to be fattened because you eating too much. Hello. They done told you all that. So why do I have to spend time on telling you who you know you are? See, this is the problem. This is the problem. See, what I be looking for in the church, I be looking for some worshipers and some praisers, not for Boone, but for God's glory. Hello, somebody. And when you can't give God no praise, I'm concerned about who you belong to. Because apparently you don't know who you are. So this man, he out here in the graveyard looking all crazy. You know, I see some of them, Sister Bonnie, looking crazy. You know, I don't know why somebody go pay $50 for a pair of jeans that's all raggedy looking. Talking about this fashion. Look, I don't understand why you go buy a blouse that's all cut up. Everything is revealed. I don't know why. You can go get a rag out the house and put it on top of you. If that's just what you're going to do, but you want to throw money away and then want to walk around like you all that, like you looking good and all that. And you know what the guys doing, all they looking like, that girl don't know what she look like. I wouldn't take her home to my mama, but I'd hit her around the corner and leave her alone. Oh, what? I ain't holding now, y'all. I'm talking some stuff that they don't want me to talk about right here. Look at it. Every time she take a step, a cheek come out. Look at that. Boy, drop something so she can bend over. Because she's not going to be a lady like. She just going to put it all up in there. Look. And I need to tell somebody, the Lord don't need a picture of what he already made. You can't even come in and do no praise dance because everything is jumping and act like it's going to jump out in there. And you think every man's supposed to be, oh, I'm a praise God. Hallelujah. Look here, I might be shouting, but it ain't talking about the Lord. If you sitting up here trying to strip in the house of the... Well, don't nobody want to talk to me, the Lord. Lord, I guess it's just you and me. I'm the only one that can see it like this. You think I want that, what everybody else done seen? Everybody else done, you think Come on. Some of you sisters sitting around here trying to, my man better not be looking. Well, look at here. He can't help that if they walking around in front of him. What he supposed to do? He driving the car and that woman come across half naked. He's supposed to. I never forget. I was in California at a convention. In California at a convention. I was with Dr. Wilbur Lewis riding in his Mercedes. And the prostitutes in California are different than the prostitutes in Oklahoma. Prostitutes in Oklahoma have some clothes on. Prostitutes in California, it's a whole different thing. And when they come walking across there with the G-string on and all this kind of, and I was looking like, Rev, what is that? He said, oh, Boone, you ain't seen nothing. That's the way they do here in California. I'm like, why y'all see somebody ready to judge me now? While I was looking, it wasn't nothing I wanted to take home, wasn't nothing I wanted to touch because I didn't know what all it had. Hello, but I did. While some of you guys trying to be real cool and calm because she gonna tell you about it when you get in the car. And look at here, you'd have been, man, all that. Why some of you women sitting there judging if a man came down and let him be, what's that guy named? Denzel? No, that's another one. So that's the one. Let him come out with his six-pack and his pants hanging down below his butt. Some of y'all gonna be like, oh, y'all remember when Teddy Pendergrass used to do a concert? And Luther, who didn't want no woman doing the concert, and y'all was taking your undies in. Boy, they real quiet now. I must be explicit. But look at this. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. Some of you women, y'all be looking too and trying to act like, oh, I wouldn't even do that. Boy, if I caught that Negro around the corner, I'd have all his babies. No, it ain't no good. Well, y'all sitting there, boy, they don't like it today. They all right. But you gotta know who you are. Now look at here, I'll tell you, now when I was a teenager, and I did a whole lot of looking, a whole lot of stuff that I can't be too proud of, but I was a boy and I kind of got a little wild hair. Before the Lord pulled me back in, I was, Lord, oh, yeah. And the Lord said, no, but then you know what I found out? I know what takes my anointing away. See, you got to know who you are. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with some of y'all in church that y'all can't even get your praise on. You don't know who you are. You still living in your past. You still think you got it going on like you did years ago. Look at here, you better come on in and see who you really are. And I had to realize, wait a minute, Lord, if this will mess with my anointing, I don't want to do anything that's going to separate me from serving you, from giving you the best of my ability. Is anybody in here with me? Can you catch that right here? Now see, when you know who you are, you don't have to worry about what people say or what they think. You know what's right in your heart. I never forget. Can I just be real with y'all? Well, look here, when I lived in Alabama, I got back up here, and next thing you know, somebody was saying I had a woman pregnant in Alabama. I was like, who? Wait a minute, y'all got the right one? Y'all, it ain't me. They took me to child support stuff. They come get me. Say, oh, you got one? I said, look, I ain't touched that woman. I'm telling you the truth. I ain't touched that. I said, I ain't got to lie about a piece of tail. I did not do it. Well, that's what y'all preachers always say. What y'all ain't did didn't come out to be the truth. I said, I'm telling you, I ain't even touched it. When the results came back, that it was 99.99999 that I could not be. I started asking them, I said, now can I sue her? And you know what they said? They said, preacher, if she trying to go through us to get something, what make you think you can get something out of it? But see, I had to know who I am. Do you hear what I'm saying? People will lie on you anyway, but you have to make sure it don't pan out to be true. But y'all will get it in a minute. Y'all will get it in a minute, but you got to see. When first things are first and you know who you are, you can recognize who you are. You know that the Lord will not leave you in a place by yourself. But amen. All those people who passed by, who saw him, who never gave him any help, who never took time to talk to him, to see where his mind was, to see what his heart was like, to see what he was going through. Why are you out here? Nobody asked him anything, but yet he out here doing what he thinking. But then you got to watch this. You got to understand that you need some help. See, a lot of people problem, watches. A lot of people in church who think they got it going on don't realize they really need some help. You wonder why you keep coming down here praying over the same thing over and over and over again. Wait a minute, if I'm praying for the same thing all the time, ain't that like begging? Wait a minute, y'all help me. The Lord just gave me that. Wait a minute, ain't that like begging? Brother, can you do this? Brother, didn't you just ask me that? Brother, isn't that like begging? David said, I was young, but now I'm older, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Lord, if I got a problem, I don't have to keep getting on your nerve for you to fix it. I can come to you one time, but I have to have some faith and have to allow my faith to kick in and start operating. Then I know I needed some help. And I went to the one that could help me. And I understood, Lord, I got this problem. And it's a stronghold. It keeps drawing me. It keeps pulling on me. And I need something. Some folk in here, they don't never clap their hands. They won't get up. Don't want to say amen. Don't want to wave. But yet they holier than thou. They don't realize that that stuff that they're doing secretly is pulling them down public. Well, y'all, boy, that would have been a good place to shout right there. See, you go around here with these secret sins, but they openly, and you just don't know how open they are. Because somebody that see what you're doing over there is telling somebody else about it. Now everybody else is looking at you because they see and they know what you're doing. And you just don't realize. This man, he looked at Jesus and he began to ask Jesus, wait a minute, what did we do with you? Why do you come in here to bother us? We didn't want you to mess with me. This was our thing. Now you go come in and disrupt some stuff. And look at here, when you start looking at this and you realize the one that can help you, you have to call him by name, because if you look in the text, you'll see that this man saw Jesus coming and he went and ran to Jesus and fell at his feet. See, there's a whole lot of some folk up in here who won't even bow down and say, Lord, I'm sorry. You can catch them in the act and they'll still act like they ain't done nothing. And when you know what the truth is, but they don't know, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, but there's somebody look like me. You know that was you. Hello? Look here, now, I'm talking about me today. I'm talking about me, because when I did go out and mess up and ended up having to pay for something that I don't even get to hold, bought them food and don't get to sit at the same table or sleep in the same house. When I did mess up, y'all act like y'all don't hear me. When I had to realize who could help me, and Lord, I know it might have been one time, but all it takes is one time to get you messed up, to get you in some, y'all. Look here, don't nobody want to talk to me. Let me help a sister out. You know when you did it that one time, whatever you did, and it caught you up, but you see your friends doing the stuff all the time, whether it was smoking weed, drinking, having sex, whatever it was, wherever your mind want to go with it. Look at here, you remember when you did it and you got caught? Look here, you know what they told me? I learned this, Keith, I learned this. See, sinners can look like they're getting away with it for a while. But when Christians go out and do it, I'm talking about bona fide Christians. When you know you're supposed to be walking with the Lord, when you go out there and dibble in sin, you get caught real quick. It ain't no way down the line. No, it catches you right there. Because the Lord wants you to repent of what you've done so He can still use. Well, I act like I'm in the classroom for a moment here. You got to understand this. He'll get you caught right then so you can repent. But look at here. Don't you know the longer you go without repentance, the more you think what you're doing is right? This man realized I'm out here, I'm tearing my clothes up, I'm sitting out there half naked, people scared of me, and Jesus, when you don't even have to bother me. Then Jesus gets slick with it. What's your name? Sometimes, the Lord, I ask you a question just to see if you're going to be truthful. Have you ever been questioned by the Lord when there wasn't nobody else around but you? And you start looking around trying to see, wait a minute, before I answer this, let me see. Look at girlfriend, years ago I had me a total gym. Chuck Norris was doing all that advertising, and I got me one of them total gyms. I got me one. I got one. I know you might not want to believe this, Brother Jenkins, but I had me a total gym, and I was in the house by myself because I was a single man. I was living by myself, and I said, well, I'm going to get on this and I'm going to do like Chuck Norris. And I got up on the thing and had it up high, and I said, they missed it. I said, ain't go nowhere. I got up and I moved the flat piece, the bench, to see if it would go up and down. It went up and down. I sat back on. I must be a punk. I can't move this thing. So I took it from up here and put it down here. Said, I know that it ain't gonna work now. Did y'all catch it? Look here, I was trying to do something that I was not qualified to do at the time. You gotta look at this, because see, sometimes you gotta get some help. You gotta quit trying to jump past, go through the instructions and realize just because you bought it don't mean you can go to the top level at the first time. You gotta work your way. Well, it almost made me shout right there. Yeah, I bought it. It was mine. It belonged to me. It was supposed to do what I you got to realize who can help you. When I realized that and I asked him for some help, I got enough sense to lower it. And I started working. Then I liked working out. Because it was something like, well, y'all. See, that's why some folk don't come to Bible study. Because when they first jump in, they want to think that they know everything and then you can't teach them nothing. And because you can't teach them nothing, they overqualified to be in your classroom. And when they overqualify themselves, they out there with a reprobate mind because what they think they're doing is right. And one day they're going to find out they ain't left. So I had to get some help. And when I got the help and I started working, I could see a change. Them 360 pounds began to go down. They ended up getting down to 250 pounds. Some of y'all still say, ooh, that was still big, but it wasn't as big as I was when I first started. But y'all will see it. Yeah. Look at here. Let me show you something. He said, what's your name, boy? My name is Legion. Because we are many. Let's go help y'all. Because y'all ain't shouting no way, so I can just help y'all. You know what? You can't do one sin without committing another sin. Sin don't run by itself. It runs in families. Ooh, boy, somebody go get this real quick. Sin runs in families. Because it's got a cousin that's going to cause you, because you did this, it's going to make you do it. And then that's going to get you to do. And next thing you know, you're over here doing. Grandma used to say a person that a lie. Oh, well, somebody said something about it. He'll steal. A dog that'll carry a bone or bring a bone. Hello? Look here, but we, I got this one hang up. Yeah, that one hang up. You know, let me tell you something. Let me tell you one of my things back in the day, Sister Elder Cheney, was if I saw a woman that smoked, even though I didn't like smoke on the breath, that was easy picking. Boy, they real quiet. They real quiet. Because see, if you'll do one thing that's wrong, you do something else. And you know how they start doing it? They start, man, don't tell nobody. Negro, you on everybody's list. If they can get a chance, oh, shoot. Look at you. You got to know when you need some help, and then you got to ask for some help. I'm going to leave y'all alone. Look here. Because another part in this text, after this man said, my name is Legion, because there's many of us. We got all of these sins. He said, but Jesus, this is what I want you to do. I don't want you to just kill me. Don't throw us out. It's some swine over there. They supposed to be worse off than we are. Just put us in the swine. Now, you know it's a bad thing when bad folk don't want to deal with you. Because the swine went and jumped off the cliff and they got into the water and they drowned. Now that wasn't the problem, but the problem was with the people. Because now you're messing with my economical status. Now you're messing with my money. And baby, if you're going to mess with my money, we're going to have some problems. Y'all know, bro, Williams got them big, pretty heifers and bulls out there. And I guarantee you, if somebody go down there messing around, they won't mess around too long. No. See, some of y'all looking like, somebody sat on my car one day and I told him, get your butt up on my car. It's just a car, yeah, but it's my car that I'm paying for. And if it's going to get scratched up, I'm going to scratch it. I don't need nobody else to, y'all ain't y'all talk to me. That's my stuff. If I throw it down, it's mine. Don't you throw mine. Hello, somebody. That's my wife. If I talk about my wife, that might be my problem. But you better not talk about y'all. Look at here. If I start talking about your family member, you gonna get all tested. You don't care if I'm the pastor, if I'm the next thing to Jesus Christ. If I talk about your family member, we gonna have some problems. That's the same. Boy, y'all. They got upset. But Jesus wasn't worried about all that because the man was healed. Now watch this, because so here comes the other thing that you need to see when others see you again. It ought to be a change in your life. Now you got to understand something here. First of all, because people don't want you to change. People don't want to see a change in your life. Anybody go back to their high school reunions? And let me tell you what happened in a high school reunion. People try to impress them that there's been a change in their life. They're no longer that same person. I'm better now. A lot of times they be lying. You know, they act like they got it going on. Negro, you live in Salvation Army. Why you trying to act like you got this big old house and all this? Done borrowed or rented somebody's car that you can drive up, put you a nice suit on for a weekend and all this, and people, ooh, they doing real good. You go back home on Monday. I'm going to pay for all of this. I gotta figure it out. Hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. Same thing that happens. What happens when others see you again? They told Jesus, you got to go. You got to get out of here because you messing up stuff. But the man realized what God had done for him. And he wasn't worried about how they would go look at him. He said, wait a minute, I was messed up and y'all didn't care. But now that I done got fixed, now all of a sudden you're trying to act like you concerned about me. When I was hungry, you didn't want to feed me. But now I got a little something in my pocket. We buddy. We hungry. We ride and die. Look at here, when I was going around selling weed, yeah, I was the best there. But when I put the weed down and picked up the word of God, you know, he think you better than everybody else. Now, when I was chasing like you, it was one thing, but when I quit chasing women and started running after the Lord,